Bishop Dolan recorded a beautiful little video recently and speaking about the importance of, right now, there's this movement called the Gospel of Life here in the Diocese of Phoenix. We want to cultivate a culture of life. We want to help establish the civilization of love that our church has been striving for, but those phrases are very potent in the 21st century. Gospel of life, civilization of love. Something pretty dramatic has happened recently in this beautiful cathedral parish. Something that stirs in me an awe, a joy of what it means to be a community that proclaims the gospel of life, that seeks to establish a civilization of love. I don't know how to go about this because it's sad and full of joy. Let me start by saying this. We have an amazing legacy here in the Diocese of Phoenix, here in this cathedral parish. Our legacy is founded in this wonderful spirit, the truth that these missionaries came from Ireland, who left everything behind, crossed the ocean in the 50s and 60s to dedicate their entire lives to this desert, to helping educate children, to helping prepare people for the sacraments here. I'm thinking specifically of the Loretto sisters, as well as the foreign-born Irish priests who helped establish this parish and served it for decades. What recently happened was, for those who haven't heard yet, our beloved sister Raphael announced that this is her last year as our principal. After 51 years of service as principal, she taught in the school. Yes, she deserves a round of applause. It's stunning. And as Sister was beautifully sharing with the faculty and staff this big news, first of all, I couldn't believe the peace that she had, a joy even. I mean, I'd have joy after finally getting to retire. But she just continues to communicate this love for this place, for the service that we have here. So once she radiated to us that there's so much more going on in her heart, this freedom. She shared 3 things that she says have been central to the identity of the Loretto sisters. 3 things that are crucial to their service, to why they've continued to have joy. And we also here in the front row, we have some of our sisters, Sister Elizabeth particularly, who came here in 1950, and she's still here. These 3 words, I think, are essential for us to create a culture of life, a civilization of love. I might even add a community of joy. Okay, I'm getting carried away with my words. So these 3 words that the Lorettos share with us are mission, sacrifice, and service. Sister Raphael very nonchalantly kind of said, I didn't plan to be a principal. I was asked. Because I know that I'm on mission. My job is to kind of go where I'm sent. Mission, the word, comes from the Latin for sending. And she's like, out of this mission, I was asked to be principal, and I was never asked to stop being principal. And so 51 years later, so it goes. But she was really imbued with that. And it's so interesting that in their second reading, St. Paul's pointing out, again, Jesus has just been crucified. The Holy Spirit has just come at Pentecost. The church is on fire with these 12 apostles who are going out to the corners of the known world. And St. Paul points out, there's already divisions among you. Some of you are, I follow Paul. He's my favorite priest. Or, I belong to Apollos. I like his preaching. He's a really good preacher. I belong to Apollos. Some of you, I belong to Peter, Cephas. I'm with his camp. I don't really care for Paul. St. Paul's like, what's going on? Did Paul get crucified for you? Who are you following? What are you about? We as Catholics, this happens to us all the time. Oh, I love the Latin stuff. Oh no, I love the glory and praise stuff. Guys, whoa, hold on, what's going on here? Yes, we have a rich diversity in our church. Thanks be to God. Catholic means universal, which is huge. That's a huge tent. And it's very natural to tend towards what's comfortable, but we have to remember that we're on mission. We're not here just to get. We're here because we're being sent. At the end of Mass, the word Mass comes from the Latin word that was said at the end of Mass. When the deacon says, the Mass is ended, go in peace. In Latin, it was missa est, meaning y'all are sent. Go, you got work to do. You're on mission, my friends. It's the mission of Jesus Christ. And that mission is belonging to a greater family. Family requires sacrifice, our second word. Sacrifice is implicitly and explicitly a bad word in society today. It's a bad word for us. We hate having things that are going to require sacrifice. We're just not into that. But that's too, Sister Rayfield pointed out, that's really sad that we miss the great positive value of the word sacrifice. Sacrifice is essential for love, for family. I mean, I shared a room with 2 little brothers, and it was a small room. There was just enough room for 3 beds, and then like a little space to get to the closet. And that gave us a lot of sacrifice. But my brothers and I are deeply bonded to this day, and it's not unrelated to that fact. I met with a couple who's preparing for marriage, this young Hispanic couple. They have deep relationship with their families. They're still living at home as they're preparing to get married, and it's just neat to hear them share about how not only have they been dating, but their families have been dating, sort of. Like they're getting to know each other. These 2 families are coming together. It's a beautiful thing. And then I asked them about their relationship with God, and they were very honest with me. And they're like, we love God. We pray often, especially when we're in need, but we have a hard time getting motivated to go to Mass. It's just, it's awkward, it's uncomfortable, it's just not our thing, and it's easy to dismiss it. And I said, you know what, I get it. It's like, it's hard. It's hard work that takes some sort of sacrifice, not just to get to Mass, but love takes sacrifice. Getting to know each other's families is a process. Getting to pray is hard, but it's like, you guys have to set time aside as a couple to get to know each other, to spend quality time. You can't just be like, I love you, and then run away and never spend quality time together. You have to make a sacrifice of time. So with God. But then I said, but there's this sacrifice also going on that how awful it would be if you were to tell your fiance, I really love you. I love to spend time one-on-one, just you and I alone. I don't want anything to do with your family. Can we just leave them out of the picture? Can it just be us? And their eyes are like, that'd be awful. And that's what you and I are super tempted to do all the time to God. Lord, I love being with you one-on-one, but I can't stand the people in the pews. Have you seen them, Lord? Like, come on, you can't expect me to have to deal with that. Love requires sacrifice, getting uncomfortable. And it helps so much to experience the freedom from the self-consciousness of always worrying about me. With that third word, service. If I have a deep sense that I'm a part of something bigger, a bigger family, that I'm sent on mission, and that mission is a mission of love that requires sacrifice, what's going to help us be freed continuously, working towards being freed of my ego, is the spirit of service. Nowadays, it's so easy to notice how many likes I have. How come that picture got more likes than the other? It's tempting for us on our Instagram page to be like, when we post those things, they get more likes. Why is that? And it's easy to be thinking about boosting my followers. But gosh, that's so self-conscious, which brings, as you and I know, lots and lots of anxiety. Service, a spirit of service, breaks past that. Reminds me that I'm here to serve. Gosh, I don't know. There's so many things I could say about that word, but perhaps for today, to note what Bishop Dolan is inviting us, what he's excited to share with us, is this Gospel of a Life initiative this year. It comes with an appeal. The Gospel of Life appeal this year is focused on three dynamics. We're collecting funds to do more education on life issues, to bring healing where there's so much hurt from abortion and from many other things against life, healing from broken families, from broken marriages where there's no support, and to do outreach. And this Gospel Life initiative is focused this year on an initiative called Walking with Moms in Need, which is so beautiful. This is the first January in over 50 years where we're not marking the anniversary of the Supreme Court decision that left the unborn vulnerable and many women and men with deep pain. But there's so much work to do, especially on the local level. And we, as a community of faith, can serve. Walking with Moms in Needs is an initiative to connect women who are experiencing unplanned pregnancies or other emergencies, or those who have a young child and they want to provide with a variety of services and help. But this has to be a grassroots initiative. So the funds for the Gospel of Life, there's Gospel of Life envelopes at the exits, maybe some in your pews. The Gospel of Life appeal, a third of that will come to the parish to help us get some initiatives rolling to help moms in need. And then 2/3 of that appeal will go to the diocese to help them at the citywide level, at the statewide level, with various initiatives to help specifically Walking with Moms in Need, which is a year of service. It's not a big program, it's relational, out of the spirit of mission, sacrifice, and service. Those are the things that will set us free. Those are the things that will continue to cultivate a culture of life, a civilization of love. And not only that, because they free us from self-consciousness, they will make this more and more a community of joy.